everybody doing?
Connected to Bluetooth.
How is everybody doing? Okay, we'll continue. Yeah, I did my walking today, so I took the boot off. I can stretch now. Okay, now my main character that I'm playing off stream, I got his Paragon upgraded, so I'm gonna go ahead and add it here.
That is too expensive.
Alexa, volume 8. Oh wait, hang on. Actually, no, we'll stick with that. I want to get this one killed off.
The gods strike through me. Not enough spirit. I don't have enough spirit. I need spirit.
Hope everybody's having. I'm actually having so far. Now I did my walking.
I don't have enough spirit.
I might start to fade as soon as I get. Right now,
That
I feel pretty
ability
good.
is not yet recharged.
But if I start to fade and I notice it, I will
Not
just end
enough
the
spirit.
stream. part for characters.
Break beneath the endless tide. I need spirit. It is not ready yet. The gods favor me. This cannot be opened yet. I don't have enough spirit.
What a monstrous creature!
I need spirit. You are defeated. I am returning to town.
I will use this.
When we returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch, my beloved king lost all pretense of sanity. He seethed with rage, spitting curses upon us as traitors. With great sorrow, I ran him through.
This fight is over. Not enough spirit. I must wait to use that ability.
Somewhere there used to be an award for how many people you killed in traps.
I need spirit.
And for me, it takes a while to get there, but I still like to hit them whenever I can. Always continually adding to them.
I will forever live in anguish for my last attempt to honor my king. As we lay him to rest in his
That
burial
ability
chamber,
is not
he
yet
manifested
recharged.
as a hideous skeletal
You know, I don't
demon.
know if enough people
Gorash
give
and my other knights were all
Blizzard
come at
credit
once,
because they
but I fought
put
hard.
so
Not
much,
enough
all these
spirit.
little books that have a little story. That's a lot of detail, and I don't think they get enough credit for doing
strength has increased. I must wait to use that ability. I need to go back.
Okay, the Southern Highlands. Here we come. I watched Pearl Harbor yesterday. One with Matt Damon. It's an older movie. I haven't seen it in a while. It was good. I enjoyed watching. I hadn't seen it in a while. I really enjoyed watching it.
It is not ready yet. I don't have enough spirit.
You know, and I was watching it, I was enjoying it, and the thing that came to mind is they remade, I don't know if you want to call it a remake, but it's called the same fucking name. But there was an old, and I watched this one, I think I watched Pearl Harbor yesterday, either Friday or Saturday. I watched Midway. The old one with, Henry Fonda in it playing Nimitz. It seemed like back in the day, there was like a 5 or 10 year period, if they wanted someone to play Admiral Nimitz, it was
That
Henry
ability
Fonda.
is not yet recharged.
And I'm wondering if Nimitz just wanted, he's like, I wonder if he basically told people that were loyal to him, hey, if anybody plays me in a movie, make sure it's that fucking awesome actor, Henry Fonda.
It is not ready yet.
But, because I was just thinking of it like a week or so ago, and then it was on, and I don't think I think it was on TV, and I didn't miss that much of it. And it was for the same reason. It was the same reason I kind of wanted to watch Pearl Harbor, because I got thinking, and I can't think of the guy's name. He's been in a ton of other shit. He's a very well-known actor. You look at Pearl Harbor, Midway, they had like top actors in that thing. Charlton Heston was in it, and just a shitload of other people.
That
And,
ability is not yet recharged.
John Wayne was about the only one noticeable, that I could think of that wasn't in there, And there was a scene in there where, and I think it's Charlton Heston's character, his boss sends him to talk to these code breakers, the ones that are trying to break the Japanese code. And at a certain point, when he's getting ready to leave, he goes to this guy. He goes, hey, it kind of stinks down here. When's the last time you guys showered? And the guy down there, he's like, I don't know, what day is it? Because what these people did is they were so intense.
I need spirit.
I'm breaking that code that they were like basically sleeping in there. They were underground. They weren't above ground. There was no sunlight, and they just slept there. And then every week or two they would go. They'd eat there, they'd sleep there, and then every couple of weeks they might go take a shower or something. And it kind of, and then that's what got me thinking about Pearl Harbor. because there's a scene in there, Dan Aykroyd's kind of playing that character. The one that's chiefly responsible for breaking the Japanese code. And there's a line in there. I wish they'd have kept it more like Midway, but I have no idea if that's accurate or not. The one Aykroyd played was probably a little more accurate to the truth. But what happened was he gets hauled before the top brass, and he's kind of letting them know, hey, here's what we think. And the guy goes,
that ability is not
he goes, so you want us to blah, 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 go to war over this? He goes, no, sir. He goes, I'm well aware that my job is just to decode this stuff as best I can. And I'm paraphrasing. He goes, your job to make decisions on my limited ability to decode it is yours. And finally the guy goes, so I don't know what to tell you. And the guy goes, I do break the goddamn code. And he goes, yes, sir, we're working on it. But the thing that got me thinking is, I don't know if there's any just fucking desire to do it, but it would be really nice. I can think of a handful of movies that they could remake. That they could remake today. Like one of them would be. In Harm's Way, John Wayne movie, really, really good movie.
It is not ready yet.
Another one would be Wings of Eagles, another John Wayne movie. Because neither one of them, I think, got the credit they deserve.
I must wait to use that ability.
And then another one that they could redo is, I think it's called The Devil's Brigade. That was, I don't know about the, Wings of Eagles was based on a real person. How accurate, I don't know. But that one was based on a real person. That ability
is not yet charged.
They, God, this was years ago. I think TCM, Turner Classic Movies, I think was showing it. And I can't remember if they had colorized it or not. It was in black and white. It starred John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. And John Ford, I think, was the one that directed it. And they, when they did it, they said it really kind of flopped at the box office, so it was never really given any credit. And they were bringing it out of the vault. It was one of these ones you couldn't buy it. They didn't show it on TV, so I never saw it growing up. My dad was a huge John Wayne fan, and he watched John Wayne like all the time. He really did. And
not enough spirit.
And they said that it really didn't do good because what happened was with the name Wings of Eagles, Maureen O'Hara starring in it with John Wayne, and the fact that John Ford was directing it, they said people expected another classic action movie, kind of like Jet Pilot or some of the other ones. And when they got it, it was kind of a drama based on a real-life hero. It fell flat because people were expecting like a huge successful action movie. But the thing is, when you look at history, you come across like a handful of people here and there that if it weren't for them, things would have failed. And when you look at World War II, it's entirely possible that we may not have won it if it hadn't have been for Spigweed. And you gotta look at the total. There wasn't any one action he did. It was his life. And they said that unless you were someone who was really involved in Hollywood, or you were really involved in the Navy, you wouldn't have known who he was. Because this was a guy early on, the Navy was competing, this would have been maybe after World War I. The Navy was competing with the Army to get money for planes. And that was the reality of it. And everybody thought, well, we're not going to give, we got battleships, we're not going to give money to the Navy for planes. And what he did is he talked them into, and some of it was being led by the generals, because the generals, they wanted to pick somebody, because the generals, or the admirals, I should say, the admirals were worried. They wanted to get money. They wanted to basically at least be given parity with the Army for building up.
It is not ready yet.
And there's a line in there where they want to know, well, who's the best guy? And he goes, I'm not talking the best guy on paper, the most political. Who's the best one at getting shit done? And they go, he goes, that's easy. And he's like, WEAD or whatever, weed. And so that's how they tackled him out of it. What he started doing is he put together kind of a rough and tumble group that knew airplanes, and they started entering these races.
That ability is not
and then
yet
as they started winning these airplane races, it got the attention of Congress and allowed them to get some money. And
rethink your intent.
And so that was the thing, and they started doing it. They got the money for the planes, and it was kind of a thing for the movie, and who knows, it might have been real.
It is not ready yet.
He was occasionally, not every second of the movie, but it happened, I think, at least 5 or 6 times, where him and his guys ended up getting into a fight with the Army, and it was the Army flying team. And I'm going to get a little sad talking about this, because it was a really good movie. It really was. And, but at a certain point, he started getting back together with his wife, Maureen Harris.
I must wait to
And he
use
had
that
2
ability.
kids. And it looked like they were gonna, maybe get back together.
Strike through me.
And he was upstairs. I think the kids were downstairs. That's where their bedroom was. And one of them started crying in their sleep. Well, he woke up like a shot and tried to run downstairs. Well, he fell on the stairs and broke his back. And so there's a whole scene in there. And it was during Prohibition, so I guess it would have been during the 1920s at this point in the movie, because it kind of covered his career. And he ended up in the hospital. He had no feeling in his legs. And it was one of the enlisted guys that worked on his flight crew. And he ended up, I think the brass, the ones that were friends with Weed, they said, you go there and you take care of him. You be his, whatever he needs.
That ability is
And if you
not
can't
yet
get it, give us a call. It's kind of one of those things. And what happened was, everybody at the hospital, and it was the higher up they were in the hospital, the worse it got. Like like the one of the doctors, lower doctors, one of the nurses, they're like, oh, well, we really can't do this, but, here's some alcohol. Maybe a little drink of this every now and then will help him out. And then it finally ended up with, the top doctor in the hospital that was working on it, the specialist, and he gives him this little tiny, probably like a 3-ounce, 6-ounce bottle, and he's like, maybe little sips of this every couple of days. And the guy from the Navy, he's like, oh, teaspoons? He's like, yeah, teaspoons would be good. And when the guy left, he drank it in one shot. And he goes, Jesus Christ, he goes, I can make better stuff than a bad stuff. And he was bringing them in like big bottles of fucking whiskey and other stuff. And he's sitting there and he's telling him he put a mirror down there so the guy could keep an eye on his toes because they had him in traction and he was upside down. And he goes, yeah,
I'm returning to town.
they don't know. He goes, they're saying you're never going to walk again. But he goes, you remember when that lieutenant told me I couldn't splice that cable? It was on one of the ships. He goes, you remember when he said there was no way I'd be able to splice that cable? He goes, well, you know what happened? And John Wayne's like, well, yeah, you spliced that cable and it got us to port or something like that. He goes, yeah, you got damn right. So he goes, we're going to get that big toe moving. He goes, all I want you to focus on right now is I want you to just keep telling yourself, I'm going to move that big toe. And it took months, but he got him, according to the, whether it was accurate or not, according to that, he got him to start wiggling that toe. So he was able to walk a little bit, but he was never able to get like full use. So when they did get him to fucking start moving his feet again, they kind of, dropped him out of the military because of, he damaged. And he ended up applying for a job in Hollywood. They needed somebody to write. And the guy in question that he was dealing with looked at his resume and was not going to hire him.
My power grows.
And he came out to let him know he wasn't interested, and then he saw that he was hurt. And then he asked him, he's like, well, how did you get, he hadn't said anything yet. He's like, well, how did you get hurt? And he goes, and he told him what happened. He didn't lie about it. And he ended up hiring the guy. And he ended up, and basically he didn't have to write anything. The guy only wanted to put a little reels. He wanted to look over military scripts and punch them up a little bit. That's what he was hired to do. And at least according to the movie. And then what happened is when World War II started, they were having trouble making carriers work. So the military brought him back. They put him back in uniform, and his job was to work out the logistics of carrier combat, carrier service. And according to the movie, he was the one that came up with like what they called in the movie a Jeep carrier. It was basically a carrier that I think had some functionality, but it was basically meant to resupply the other ships, to carry spare parts. But they called it a carrier. They didn't call it a supply ship, so I have a sneaking suspicion that it actually had some functionality, but it wasn't as good as a full-fledged carrier. And what happened was they actually put him out to sea as a reward. They let him go out so he could see the good work that he had done. And a lot of his old crew, some of his old crew was there. And a lot of the officers, like he made it up, I think, to captain. Well, these guys were captains, or he might have been a colonel, I don't know, but they outranked him. They either caught with him at rank or they outranked him. And they got into a battle, and the ship he was on got pretty shot up. And he was pretty injured. They basically, he could not leave the ship under his own power. He was leaving.
That
it was a
ability
medevac.
is not yet recharged.
And they were moving him from their ship to another using some kind of a pulley system where they could slide him from their ship to the other one. And the thing is, when they did it,
I must wait to
somebody
use that
on
ability.
the ship, it was real sad. I'm getting a little sad now. But somebody on the ship made a comment that they didn't understand. There was like a huge brass send-off. And everybody he worked with on that task force in the Navy, they were there and they were all admirals. And the Army showed up. And all those guys he used to get into fights with were all generals now. And they all showed up and formed a line on both sides. And he left the ship right between them. It's kind of sad. But you know, all those guys he fought with, all those guys he served with, all showed up to see him.
It is not ready yet.
That was a really bad. That movie was way better. It did not get the credit it deserved for how good it was.
A vicious strike. I must wait to use that ability.
And then in Harm's Way, I can't think of the. She was. I mean, again, you guys probably your grandparents
That
might know
ability
who
is
she
not
was,
yet
but
recharged.
John Wayne had a love interest in there. It's the only movie I saw her in with. But she was another one of those really. She was like on Maureen O'Hara's scale of acting.
I must wait to use that ability.
He played a guy. He was a captain of a cruiser, I think. And what happened was it was before the war broke out. Well, they had gotten into it with some of the Japanese, or it was early in the war. I can't remember which. And if I'm remembering it right, if I'm remembering it right, and that's not always the case, they were supposed to be running a zigzag pattern, which
It is not ready yet.
cut fuel but prevented them from being targeted easily by submarines. Because by running that zigzag pattern, if somebody launched torpedoes at you from a distance where they would be safe from like depth charges, the chances are it would miss you by the time it got up to you. Well, I don't know if they were low on fuel, but it was one of those things where they were doing something critical, but they were under orders, and there was one other movie where they did this. They were, I think it was Midway, where the orders they were under, they were not to take any actions
That ability
did
is
not
not yet recharged.
provide more benefit than risk for doing.
strike.
And what happened was they ended up getting hit by subs. And I think it was Henry Fonda playing Nimitz again in that, and he let him know. He said, "You know, you're getting caught in that zone between all-out war and peace."
I must wait
He goes, "In
to use
6
that ability.
months, I will likely be pinning medals on people who are taking heroic action like you did." But he goes, "I gotta punish you for
It is not ready
what
yet.
you did." And he told him, he goes, "Now you can fight it with a court-martial if you want, but he goes, I got a feeling that you'll be like me, we'll just take whatever we get." And he said, "Yeah, no sir," he goes, I don't wanna do a court-martial."
That ability
And
is not
he
yet
got put on a
recharged.
desk, and he was working with the guy. It was the guy who played Rocky's trainer and the Penguin in the old Batman TV show. He was working alongside him at some desk job. They were, he actually didn't get too bad of a gig. I mean, for him it sucked, but he was at a base. He was getting good shot. Nobody was shooting at him, And I can't remember. I think they were working intelligence. And the guy he was working with was from Hollywood. When he got drafted, they put him somewhere where he can maybe do some good rubbing elbows with the rich and powerful. Well, John Wayne kind of ended up orbiting in that circle.
I must wait to use that ability.
And
that ability is not yet recharged.
And then what happened is a little bit later in the movie, Nimitz calls him back, Henry Fonda's character, and he lets him know that he needs him to do a job. And he said, well, what's the job? And then he found out that there was another actor. Either that or an admin. And he goes, well, why do you got me doing this? You've got so-and-so here. And Henry Fonda made the comment, he goes, Lincoln had a problem during the Civil War. He had two different generals. One of them was Grant, and I can't remember who the other one was. But he goes, you got the one guy that wants everything to be perfect, and he'll plan and plan and plan, and he'll never get there. And then you got someone, he goes, then, Grant was the guy that was a little bit of a drunk. Didn't care if things were perfect. Didn't care if he was ready. He would just grab the men and go. And he goes, I need you to be my Grant. And he goes, well, what missions do I have? He goes, well, yeah, I can't kill him. But he said, short of that, I need you to work around him, go around him, hide things from him, do whatever you can to get this to work. And so that's what he did. He constantly had to fuck the system.
Honor and glory.
I must wait to use that ability.
Because there was like an island. They wanted to capture the island.
It is not ready
They
yet.
wanted to build landing strips, and then they were going to house their bombers there, and they could use the bombers for 1,000 miles in any direction. And I can't remember what they called it. They had an operation
That
for it.
ability is
Then,
not yet recharged.
While they were doing it, they came across the fact that the Japanese were trying to do the same thing. They were trying to do their own version of it.
I must wait to use that ability. What you ask is impossible.
Run, coward!
It is not ready yet.
Douglas was in there. He kind of played not really a bad guy, but not really a good guy either. And because what happened was his wife or his fiance,
That ability is not
she
yet
turned
recharged.
up dead on her heart. And he became kind of a drunk, and he was probably on a fast track to get out of the military until John Wayne got activated again, and he brought him back as his executive officer for his mission. But his fiancée was shacked up with somebody else on Pearl Harbor, basically having sex with somebody in the car, and got bombed, shot up at the jabs. And he kind of never recovered from it. And John Wayne's kid was in there, and I didn't recognize him as an actor. I honestly didn't. And his John Wayne, it was his ex-wife. He married rich, and they didn't connect to the military or stuff like that. And
I will not do that.
But by the end of the movie, he had won his son over just by being a good guy, which put him out of favor with one general.
It cannot be done.
So he ended up on a PT boat. By the end of the movie, and then another sad movie, by the end of the movie, Kirk Douglas
I am returning
had
to
started.
town.
It was nothing bad. They hadn't done anything, but he felt she would, by today's standards, it would not be the case. But back then, he felt she was leading him on. And when he was making his move, she told him, she goes, "Look, I have a fiance," and it was John Wayne's kid. And Kirk Douglas didn't know any of this. She goes, "I have a fiance, and so I'm just not gonna kiss you." Well, he ended up raping her. She got pregnant, and then
I must lessen my burden.
she didn't know who he was. He didn't know who she was, and she ended up killing herself. She gave the ring back, then she killed herself. And she was John Wayne's, the nurse John Wayne was dating. They were roommates. So the roommate knew something about it, but I don't think she knew everything. And then his kid was all sad. Well, he ends up getting killed on a PT boat. His future daughter-in-law got killed, and the ship he was on got shot up real bad. And I don't remember, whatever that mission was to take the island, his ship got pretty well damaged. He had been put in charge of the task force, and he used his old cruiser as the flagship for the mission. And when it was over, he woke up on the ship all banged up. His nurse was taking care of him. And Nimitz came in, Henry Fonda, and he goes, "Well, I suppose I'll be facing a court-martial now because he broke some regulations to do what he did." And he looked at the nurse. He goes, "Is he still on the dope?" And she goes, "A little bit." He goes, "Let me make this clear to you." He goes, "We're going to let you get better. I'm going to slap a goddamn metal on your chest." And he goes, "I'm going to be sending you back here with another goddamn task force." And it was, I mean, so, it was kind of a mixed ending, but that was just another damn good movie. I would put it up there with The Longest Day and Midway, and it was another one like The Longest Day. If you ordered it back on VHS, it came on 2 VHSs. You could not fit it on one.
I've got some brand new goods you might be interested in.
Such a brave soul.
Okay.
Many Nephilim have stood where you are
I think
now.
this is the first
But
stream where I've
few
actually
succeeded
gotten where I
overcoming
got
the
all the
trials.
bounties. And I'm going to see, I'm starting to fade a little bit now. And I'm going to see if I can try to go lay down and see if I can get through this.
That ability is not yet recharged.
I'll be able to clear the rift.
I must wait to use that ability. I will not do that. That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet. My mind is stronger.
These enemies defy all reason.
It is not ready yet.
That chick was fast as lightning. It was a little bit frightening.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability. I need to go back. That ability is not yet recharged. I'm returning to town.
choice.
Okay. Fists of Thunder. Deadly Reach. Okay. Lashing Tail Kick. Blinding Flash. Dashing Strike. Ooh, Exploding Palm. We'll do the Vortex one. Cyclone Strike. Okay, what do we got here? I always dual wield with a monk. I have no idea. I don't know what martial art movie inspired them to drop the bell.
It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. is not ready yet. Your flaws are revealed.
If they ever did remake that In Harm's Way, I really think he did a good job in True Grit. I'd like to see Jeff Bridges play John Wayne in that if they ever redid it. I wouldn't want him to play Wings of Eagles. I just don't want to see Jeff Bridges break his back.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet.
Forgot that this was the Nephilim Rift. I was coming this way. Oh, this isn't going where I want it. It's like, no, it's just an exit to the next spot.
I must wait to use that ability. The storm breaks.
Oh yeah. I gotta keep this character alive. It's starting to get interesting now.
A vicious strike. It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. The endless time. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet.
Almost 70%.
That ability is not yet recharged. Feel the wrath of Titan! I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet.
I like to think the world is safe for now.
That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. My strides grow longer.
Come on, actually, this is kind of what I want to do every stream for Diablo, is just do at least one bounty and then do a Nephilim Rift. And
That ability
I had at
is
least
not
once
yet
or twice
recharged.
the character got killed, or just wasn't feeling good.
I must wait to use that ability.
The Rift Guardian has found
Oh
you.
yeah, Rift Guardian.
It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged.
Long ago, I would open rifts for the Nephilim to help them train for battle. They fought bravely, facing down enemies in places pulled from the deepest corners of their memories. Ours.
Okay, life per second.
Is a race of great power, but we are nothing unless we temper it with skill. If you are to achieve your birthright, then conquer the rifts and take your rightful place among us. Your skill has grown.
I want to thank everybody for stopping in. Hope everybody has a good day.